Hi, welcome back to Storytime. So we're up to chapter 50 now. In the last chapter, Mum had woken up finally from her really long sleep, and Addie said he felt angry, and that was one of your guided reading questions. Why did Addie feel angry? Well done if you got it correct. It was because she should have been looking after him and she shouldn't have been asleep. So the whole time that she's been asleep, he's having to look after himself, and Dory's been helping and Obi's been helping, but for the most part he did do it by himself, and that's why he's so angry, because she's woken up and then suddenly she's like, what's happened? And then he said, if you come out of the flat, I'll tell you. So let's see if she comes out. Chapter 50. Mum looks at me hard for a moment or two. All right, Addie, she says, and it's as simple as that. I open the front door and she peeks her head out of the doorway and looks down the corridor, and then she walks right through it. She follows me down the stairs. She's slower than I am and I have to keep stopping so she can catch up. We stop and look out of the windows at each floor. It's all gone, Mum keeps saying over and over. Can you believe it, Addie? It's all gone. We start to play a little game. It's Mum's idea. We close our eyes and pretend that everything is how it was before and say out loud what we can see. Mum says, I can see a plane going over in the sky, and I say, I can see the tops of buses with numbers on them. And Mum says, I can see the city. And then Mum counts down from 3 and we open our eyes. Everything that we see with our eyes closed vanishes and is replaced by the silvers of the blotches and the greens of the plants and the trees. We play it a few times, and each time it surprises me when I open my eyes. Mum's making me remember what it used to be like. I think I'd begun to forget a bit. We get to Dory's front door and I knock on it, which seems a bit odd because usually I just walk in and call out to her, but it feels different with Mum with me. I hear Dory's footsteps come to the door, and then she opens it with a big smile. Come in, she says. Oh, it's lovely to see you. She bustles us into the sitting room, and in no time at all we are all sitting down with cups of hot tea in our hands, chatting away as if we'd always done this. Dory and Mum talk about everything that's happened and about how Obi's been keeping us safe, not only with the salt he puts down, but with water that he rations out. Mum asks Dory if she thinks we'll be rescued soon. Oh, there's no doubt about it, dear, Dory says. No doubt. Who knows, they might be on their way right this minute, and she winks at me. I tell Mum a bit about the pigeons that we've been catching and how I can do it now. Dory's just saying, oh, you have a fine young man there, when suddenly Mum puts her cup down on the table so it makes a bit of a rackle and says that she'd better be getting back upstairs. She gets up to leave too quickly and she bangs her knee on the table. She looks like she might be sick or something. Her face looks like it's lost its colour. She doesn't wait for me to come with her. She walks straight out of Dory's flat without saying goodbye. My ears feel hot and red and I don't know where to look. I hope Dory likes Mum, even though she left so suddenly and didn't say thanks for tea or anything. When I finally look up, Dory's looking right at me and she says in a soft voice, you do understand, don't you, Addie, that I think your Mum's a brave woman. I hope she comes to visit again, if she'd like to. I don't know how to answer Dory because I'm not sure how to tell her that I don't think Mum will ever come downstairs again. Chapter 51. The next morning, though, when I go into Mum's bedroom to collect her dinner plate, she's not there. She's not anywhere in the flat, not in the corridor, not on the stairs. I call out her name and Pigeon follows me, making loud meows as if he's calling out to her too. Mum! Mum! I can't find her. I've never before not known where she is and it scares me. What if she went outside the tower? What if she didn't believe what Dory and I had told her about the spores? I run down to Dory's flat so that everyone can help me look for her, but I come to a stop before I push open the door. I can hear Mum's voice in there, and Dory's, and Obi's, and Ben's. The only voice that's missing is mine. When I go inside, everyone is sitting down to breakfast like we do every day, except there's an extra chair for Mum. They all say, good morning, Addie, and did you sleep well? Mum reaches across to me and ruffles my hair, and she looks good, not sick like she looked yesterday. She doesn't stay for very long that morning, but she comes back to eat dinner with us. The next day she does the same, and the day after that she helps Dory and me pluck the pigeons for dinner and stays with Dory while she cooks. No one mentions the time when they didn't see her. No one talks about how they're glad she's come out of the flat. They are just pleased to see her each time she turns up. After only a few days, it seems normal to find Mum helping Dory or Obi with something or other and having an extra place for her at the dinner table. Sometimes she still has to rush off very suddenly, but she'll come back a few hours later. One day I come downstairs with some supplies and I overhear her talking to Dory through the open door, and something about the way she's talking stops me from walking in. I stand still and I listen. I didn't see their faces, she's saying. Oh, my dear, says Dory. I can't imagine. There were 5 of them. 5 against 1? What must they have been thinking? They didn't think, Dory. They just punched and punched and kicked, and I didn't think I could get away. But you did, my dear, you did. I accidentally dropped one of the tins I was carrying, and they stopped talking, and Dory comes to the door to help me. Mum smiles when she sees me. Her eyes look bright, but she's not crying. I worry that she must feel tired because she's not getting the same amount of sleep as she did before, but when I ask her that, she laughs out loud and says she's not tired at all, that she feels better than she's done in a long time. I can scarcely believe how much better she is. I keep thinking that there'll be a day when she won't get out of bed again, and this time she is spent with Dory, Obi and Ben will have just been a dream I had once. I keep waiting for that day to come. I wait and wait, but it doesn't happen. And just when I start thinking that Mum really is all right, that's when the rain starts to fall.